Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is David Murphy from the National Black Unity News interviewing Mr. Michael Thomas for 1,000 Great Minds. And Mr. Thomas is the editor in the National Black Unity News. And he also does quite a few other things. I'm going to let him explain that to you. But getting started, we just want to share some information about a great program that both of us think that you should know about because it's life altering. And I mean that this can change us, we, Black people, melanated people, African Americans in so many ways. But I like to always start from the beginning. Mr. Michael Thomas, where do 1,000 Great Minds come from?
1,000 Great Minds is an origin from myself. It's an idea from myself. It is a concept of 1,000 Black business people unifying into one corporate entity to administer a Black economic empowerment project around the country.
Okay, fantastic. And when people who are visionaries and they have these visions, and usually the vision is for the visionary, and when the visionary tries to explain the vision to individuals, sometimes they, because it's so vast and so wide, sometimes the average person don't fully understand it sometimes. So have you ever had any feedback when you try to explain this great vision to people, some of the feedback that you get, when they don't fully understand what you're talking about?
Yes, I've gotten all sorts of feedback from the attitude of impossible, the attitude of I don't want to have any part of it, the attitude of that is not something that people need, many different attitudes about that on other. Those are the naysayers, so to speak, and people just who don't comprehend what it really is about and the value that it has.
Okay, and so is that one of the biggest challenges you had with 1,000 Great Minds? Is the naysayers, the people who don't fully understand?
Yes, I would say so. However, when I've gotten into Facebook to post for Black real estate partners around the country, I've gotten a lot of realtors and real estate people because I put the posts in those platforms. Mm-hmm. And some of them, half of them comprehend something, half of them don't. Half of them are yay-sayers, half of them are naysayers.
Okay. Tell me something, by you being the visionary, what are the benefits if someone got involved I'm just saying, if you saw the vision from the ending of it and it's reached its objective, what would be the benefits for the individuals participating with you?
Is that the customer, so to speak, or the 1,000 Great Minds individuals?
The 1,000 Great Minds individuals.
The outcome would look like multi-streams of resources coming to the 1,000 Great Minds in the form of businesses that will generate benefits to them, namely a bank, a real estate company, land development construction company.
And so just based on what you just, replied to me, there are benefits for just other people as well, outside of the Great 1,000 Minds?
Yes, the unique selling proposition of the 1,000 Great Minds in the first place is to head up, launch, direct, manage, and oversee this nationwide housing program that enables every desiring person in the country, all 3,142 U.S. counties, to get a house in a car, truck, van, or SUV debt-free with no rent, mortgage, car payments, or debt to pay. So these homeowners who, through the vehicle of the 1,000 Great Minds Real Estate Unit, represent those buyers in the purchase of their homes, we also capitalize the money for them to purchase the homes and the cars. So it's a benefit to them in that they would not be paying rent, they would not be paying mortgage, they would not be paying car payments, and they will own the home and they will own the car. So the great benefit that they would have is, if, for example, if they pay $1,000 a month for rent and car payment, that would be $1,000 a month that they don't have to pay for rent and car payment.
Oh man, that's a great benefit. Now, I'm a visionary as well, so I don't talk. On sharp as on, they say. But what gets you up in the morning? What's your inspiration? And all of this.
Yes, it is get to the end of this because it's a pilot program in the United States, and being able to deliver what runs people away from my belief, in order to deliver 50 million homes and 50 million cars to 50 million people, it inspires me. It makes me get up, to make that achievement, because we've gone to the moon and we've jumped off mountains and we've flipped over with bicycles, and we've had so many paradigm shifts that the paradigm shift we're in now is the airways. And we can exploit the airways in a way that have never been exploited before in the last 20 years.
Yeah, speaking about airways and just a little info on now I kind of got to understand the purpose of what the and the mission of 1,000 Great Minds, and I can see how it can truly change so much. But when you mention airways, what are you doing at the vision? What are you doing to help, encourage people or let people know about this great program you got, 1,000 Miles? What are you doing to reach that objective?
Well, I've set up this website, getahousedebtfree.com, so that anyone who hears about it can go on and get on the list of to getahousedebtfree.com, get on the list. And it reminds me of getting on the Section 8 list for a home, or get on this list to get a home. Well, it's the same thing. Get a house debt free. Get on that list to getahousedebtfree.com, to get a house debt free at getahousedebtfree.com. In addition, I post things on Facebook in reference to that too. And now I'm doing some getting assistance, like from yourself, being associated with the National Black Unity newspaper, where I can write articles about it and it gets out across the country.
I also understand that you also will be using some other forms of media, such as podcasting, and you already mentioned the newspaper. What is your podcast going to be? What is that going to be all about?
Recruiting the 1,000 Great Minds, basically getting the unique selling proposition of the company across to them, to let them know that what we do is deliver homes and personal transportation with no debt, no rent, mortgage, car payments, or debt to pay, no one turned down. So I want to let the 1,000 Great Minds audience, who would be potentially come on board with the 1,000 Great Minds, what the company does, what is the product, service, or value, or unique selling proposition of the company, so that they can get behind it based on their own personalities.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Michael Thomas explained the mission. He explained, the benefits. He explained quite a bit. And then he also have the website. He has the newspaper articles and the podcast coming up. So you're going to hear quite a bit from him in the very near future. But I want to now introduce you to the man himself. We talking about the vision, but, oftentimes, people sometimes look at the messenger instead of the message sometimes. But still, I believe personally that a visionary who has been given the vision, and you didn't hear him say everything about him, all this coming to me, this about me. He was saying you and us and we, how it can help other people. And I commend you for that, sir. But I want people to just get it a little bit better. Who are you? And where you from? You the family man. Just tell a little bit about. I know it's kind of difficult for some people to do that, but just give us more insight of who you are.
1,000 Great Minds is seeking 1,000 black entrepreneurs to head up a newly developed nationwide residential and commercial real estate project affecting all 3,142 U.S. counties. Entrepreneurs are needed from all work and business professions from A to Z, bringing all skill sets, know-how, intellectual capital, and business acumen to the group. The venture has 4 major plans, namely the Economic Stabilization Plan, the Main Capital Reduction Plan, the Final Stages Wrap-Up Plan, and the Multi-Business Spinoffs Plan. Anyone having interest in considering the 1,000 Great Minds nationwide residential and commercial real estate joint venture, submit your resume to 1000greatminds@gmail.com. We will review your resume and get back with you.
Welcome back.
Yes, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I live in Charlotte now. I was an Air Force veteran, and I like to strike out about my life. My first grade class, in elementary school, what my first grade class teacher had posted on the wall in the left corner of that block wall with the ABCs, on the wall. She had an yellow upside down triangular sign with a black trim around it. And in the middle of the sign, it had black letters in it, THINK, think. And I can remember that sign from the 60s, just like I can remember anything else. I can remember it just as clear as things that I can remember today. So I want to attribute that to my education in the first grade, that sign that said think, that she put on the board. And she was a businesswoman too. Her husband, they still own this funeral services from the 60s. She was a businesswoman. And coming forward, I just highlight my education at Winston-Salem State University, degree in political science with a concentration in public administration. And I remember just as vividly in the university as I walked by the political science director's office one day as he was speaking to a student inside his office. It was about 8 feet by 8 feet office, very small. And he was telling the student that you might have to write your own job. And I remember that very clearly. And so that's what I've done. That's what I've done. I've written my own job. It's a huge job, but it will pay the money that I want it to pay me. And in addition, it would serve the people that I want to serve in a very, very high valued way. And when I came out of the Air Force, I started, I went in there in the first place looking for a job, and I got the job. And then I was left the Air Force looking for a job again. And I looked for jobs, fill out applications, took exams, waited on the exams. And at some point, I said to myself that I got to stop looking for jobs and start looking for money. So I wrote a program. And I advertised it in the 50 states in this country and the 10 provinces in Canada. And as a result of running that program, the money came. The money came so heavily that I didn't have a system task force in place to manage the money. And I had to stop doing what I was doing because the money was coming, but I was not able to fulfill the obligation. So I did that. And so now 1,000 Great Minds is the thing that can manage the money now. I have this proclivity, this inclination to know how to get the money to come, but I didn't have the system task force then, but 1,000 Great Minds would be the system task force now. And you can see the arithmetic that I'm speaking of in terms of delivering 50 million homes and 50 million cars to 50 million people.
Yes, large operation.
So that's
yes,
me.
Sir.
That's me.
Yes, sir. Okay. I heard you speak about, your upbringing, especially in the school system. And during this time, I don't want to get heavily into, what's going on in the world. The world going to do what the world do and people going to do what they do. But I do know at this time, there's a lot of people out here searching. A lot of people are in debt up to their neck. People don't know how they're going to take care of this and take care of that. And then we have a brother like you come along that has a solution. to a lot of this economic woes that we encounter on a consistent basis. And even those of us who may be a little comfortable, it's not even about them sometimes, because we have people who are retired and they have paid for their home, but they got children and their nephews, nieces, and everything else is going through that same long-term system, pulling out your hair, don't know how this is going to happen system. And a brother like you come along with an idea. If we work together collectively, we can change the outlook of so many people outcomes and how they live their lives, living it more abundantly, as they say. But there's a lot of people, and this is David Murphy thinking, I believe there's a lot of people who has visions and as little children. I think I can't even imagine a child without thinking that he's going to be this one day or think he's going to be that one day. Even I used to think I could fly. I'll be flying like Mighty Mouse one day. I mean, that's as a child thinking, but still. But in this day and time, even now, things that have gotten so out of what they call normalcy is this, even they used to tell us to go to school, then go get a job and live happily ever after. But the school system seemed to be in chaos. Of course, the job market, in my time, you can work for a company and retire, one company. That's almost unheard of now, because companies exchange, from this one hand to another now, and even nothing don't seem to be too secure. And people, just having a difficult time. And if you had the world, access to the world, just from your from your brain, from your mind, what would you say to us? What God has put into you, your vision, what would you say to us that will kind of calm our minds or give us a solution to what we could do? I know that's kind of broad, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
I comprehend, David. I would suggest to think from the position of the paradise. And I comprehend that some people don't know the paradise, don't believe the paradise, don't believe the concepts of paradise. But these are things that we received growing up. Everyone in the Christian families about the Bible and the paradise, whether they are atheists or Christians or whatever they may be. But I got into this mindset of thinking from the paradise, meaning that there is no lack and there's no poverty here. And you don't need to drop that in my lap anymore. I don't need to hear it anymore, because once I hear the problem one time, it's solution for me. I don't need to hear the problem anymore. And we've been carrying the problem for 400 years. 911, as you suggested. In other words, it's been a 911 every day for 400 years. And the people are conditioned to live under this. And it is archaic and it is insane. So I suggest to speak from the position of paradise, where there is abundance and wealth and the best of everything. I was just thinking just a moment ago, in reference to the question you're asking, the one thing comes to my mind is to give everyone the best food. Don't give someone something that you wouldn't want to eat yourself. Give them the best education. Don't give them education that you wouldn't want, to give to your children and to yourself. And so, in summary, is to take the total sum of the education that we have and bring the best education and let the rest go. Let the rest of it go. We comprehend that there are people in various countries that have higher aptitudes in education in certain aspects, mathematics, arithmetic, whatever it may be, science, whatever it may be. So we should shop in those countries for that best education and use that education across the board, rather than just taking thousands and millions of different ideas from millions and ideas of teachers and administrators and municipalities and governments that has not come up to the standard of the paradise.
All right, that's fantastic, sir. And so how can a person get in touch with you?
The 1000greatminds.com website is there available. I'm still working on it. However, someone can send their information through their name, telephone, email, and I can get back in contact with them, give them information, that they need in order to consider 1,000 Great Minds. Also consider the Howie Moore Nationwide Get a House Debt-Free program. So that website, 1000greatminds.com, and I always give my telephone number, which is 704-777-8899. That's 704-777-8899. I'm old school. I like to talk on the phone. Many people don't. I comprehend that they're going onto the internet and the computer and everything. That's fine too. But eventually we have to speak.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. And in closing, sir, is there anything that you would like to share with people who will actually see this video or this, because, you may, like I said, I only ask you basic things, but, there's something that you may want to share with somebody from the mind of Mr. Michael Thomas himself.
Yes, just in reference to 1,000 Great Minds, just the idea that 1,000 great minds from all work in business professions from A to Z, bringing all skill sets, know-how, intellectual capital, and business acumen to the group are urgently needed to help start up, launch, direct, manage, and oversee this newly developed nationwide housing program that enables every desiring person in the country, all 3,142 U.S. counties from the Atlantic to the Pacific, coast to coast, to get a house and a car, truck, van, or SUV debt-free, no rent, mortgage, car payments, or debt to pay, no one turned down. And I comprehend that we are selling money and we are selling interest and we are selling investments and things. However, I like to turn the world's attention to the paradise where there is no rent and there's no mortgage and there are no car payments and things, or unessential things like that everyone have those things, and that we eventually quickly get to getting into water, because the people in the sub-Sahara South Africa walk 3 miles for a bucket of dirty water, and we can do better than that.
Yes, yes. Well, Mr. Thomas, like I say, your vision is to me personally is great, and I'm glad to have met you, because when I first met you, you expressed the concept of 1,000 great minds. See, another visionary can see certain things, because my vision is extremely large as well. But it's not for personal interest, but it's for all of us. And now that we are working together, and you have my full support behind 1,000, I just want to say this openly and publicly, that you have my full support behind 1,000 great minds, because I think it's a great concept. And not only that, you personally, you're a sharp brother. And from my perspective, you're a very sharp brother, sincere and honest brother. And so I encourage everybody who will get a hold of this video to look into it, seek, and you will find, they say, knock and the door will open to you. Ask and it will be given to you. There's no reason for you to not take some time and look into this 1,000 great minds, because collectively, all things are possible. And it's real doable if enough of us come together. And so now we're going to take this video. We're going to share it to the world. And for those of you who will listen to us, hear what we have to say, I encourage you to do so. Give Mr. Michael Thomas a call, or you can call me and I will refer you to him, because this is extremely important for such a time as this. And Mr. Thomas, man, I'm just going to say this, man, I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate the vision that you have. And I believe when we continue to launch this project, 1,000 Great Minds, the people will come, because it's time. And the harvest is so great. People are hurting so much out there. And like you say, we got to stop crying about it. We're going to have to start doing something about it. There's so much to be done, but it can be done, because we have people like Mr. Thomas around who has the roadmap. See, we don't have to figure everything out now. We got people that can do this and can do that. So I'm into media. We're going to have massive amount of media, that we're going to reach people all over the world. But again, if it's going to be, we going to have to take action. So give Mr. Thomas a call. And can you get that number one more time, sir?
That's 704-777-8899. 704-777-8899, and also 1000greatminds.com, 1000greatminds.com.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording right now.
Thank you, David, for everything.